Welcome to SVG-TV News and Sports for Friday, December 13th. I'm Jimmy Prince for the details. The damage associated with the suppression of marijuana is said to be much greater than the actual damage caused by the use of the drug. Speaking at the CARICOM Youth Ambassador panel discussion last evening, dubbed Free Up the Herb, lawyer Mikhail outlined the legal framework within which cannabis and its adherents are treated according to the laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Charles says in his short experience at the Vincentian Bar, he found that the damage done in the attempt to suppress marijuana usage outweighs the actual physical damage.
Where benevolent authority, seeing the havoc wreaked and the harm the stuff does, tries to prohibit it, a malign mechanism comes into play. The more drugs, of our purposes tonight, cannabis, is prohibited, criminalized, denounced, and the people who supply them imprisoned or attacked in various ways, the more the price rises, the more profitable the trade becomes to criminals of all sorts. Due to the sheer weight of circumstance, evolution of opinion, and behavior, this has seemingly tipped the balance decisively against persisting with the penal prohibition of the drug.
Charles further explains that under the current laws, the penalties are very severe for cannabis, including incarceration and heavy fines. He says the converse to the argument is that with such rampant marijuana use, it clogs police prosecutorial time and court resources, which could be diverted to other areas.
Indeed, the Act does not deter marijuana use, and I'm sure one can reasonably suspect that tomorrow night at the CanFest, that there will be significant marijuana use. There is, of course, the anecdotal comparison with liquor, its effects on the body, the drunkenness, the broken home, etc., etc. Yet liquor has an effective licensing regime. We all see the publishing of the liquor licenses in our papers. Indeed, perhaps it is a taxable opportunity. We could further compare marijuana with cigarettes, the effect of nicotine on the body, the licensing regime for cigarettes, and taxable opportunities thereof.
Meanwhile, Dr. Sinclair Thomas, while presenting the medical pros and cons of the legalization of marijuana, explains that marijuana contains hundreds of chemical compounds which act on the brain. Thomas further states that the main ingredient in marijuana is THC, which is easily taken into the fatty tissue of the body.
And this is important because the brain is predominantly, the nerve electrical current is surrounded by much fatty tissue, relatively speaking, to the bones and muscles, etc. All right, when smoked, the substances enter the body into two categories, and this is not hard to picture. A person smokes, whether it be marijuana or cigarette, whatever it is, as you inhale the stuff, the chemical compounds are in two groups. Those which are in the gaseous phase, gas, and those which are not gaseous but in the particle phase. They enter the lungs just like we inhale oxygen. The oxygen is in the atmosphere, but it gets into the body. How? It goes into the lungs, from the lungs into the blood, and the blood takes it around and around the body. So it is with the gaseous compounds from marijuana plants. It has been shown that THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, it exerts its most prominent effect on two main parts. Well, a number of organs, I'll go through the whole list. The effects are predominantly seen on the central nervous system and the cardiovascular, the heart and the blood vessel system.
The parents of Jeremy Lewis, a UK Navy veteran, are now seeking answers relating to his death earlier this week in the UK. According to reports, 33-year-old Royal Navy veteran Jeremy Lewis died within hours on Thursday, December 5th after unknowingly consuming a carbonated soft drink which contained lethal amounts of cocaine. It was also reported that Lewis thought he was consuming a genuine pear drink, but a lab test found that the liquid contained a lethal amount of cocaine. SVG-TV News visited the deceased family earlier today and spoke with his parents, Alston and Morna Lewis. The grieving parents say words cannot describe the current state of hurt that they are experiencing.
I find courage knowing that he accepted Christ as his personal savior and has been baptized and been going to church. I take courage in that. But as to my feelings, I just cannot describe to you the way I felt. It's hot down inside. It hurts every bone, every muscle.
Oh boy. Couldn't find a better son. That's the son that every mother wish they have. Believe me.
It's caring.
Very caring, very loving, helpful. He was a good son. He was the best.
We'll bring you more on this developing story in our subsequent newscasts. The Taiwanese technical mission today handed over the Orange Hill Horticulture Corporation project to the Ministry of Agriculture. Speaking at the handing over ceremony at the Ministry of Agriculture, Taiwan Ambassador Weber Shih praised the ministry and the technical mission for their joint effort with the project over the past 3 years.
Of the members of the Robaka Farmers Cooperatives, ROFCO, without their active and persistent participation, the management of ROFCO could not be a big success. The agricultural tissue lab handed over to the ministry by Taiwan Technical Mission 3 years ago is now well managed and has developed as a prominent lab of its kind in the Caribbean. And with the same goal, both parties hope the newly handed over project will continue to flourish and will set another example for the sustainable development of cooperation.
Ambassador Shih expressed his appreciation to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the support given to the Taiwan SVG Agriculture Corporation.
I'm convinced that although the range of our bilateral cooperation has been diverse, agriculture will continue to be one of the backbone fields for cooperation in the foreseeable future.
Meantime, Minister of Agriculture Saboto made it clear that the handing over of the horticulture project does not mean that the Taiwanese are leaving as rumored. He said, on the contrary, it just indicates that the government will be taking full ownership of the horticulture project.
Also, the farmers who are listening, what we're actually witnessing today is the handing over of the Horticulture Corporation project, which basically involves us taking full ownership of a lot of the infrastructure. I have a whole list here which outlines the vehicles, the material, and some of the other pieces of infrastructure which will be handed over. And of course, with such a handing over, there is an increased responsibility that will be placed on the high office of the permanent secretary and all the members of staff of the ministry.
Well, the annual police Christmas caroling contest will take place this evening at the Central Police Station. Some 10 senior and 6 junior choirs are expected to participate in the competition. The senior choirs are expected to sing 2 songs, a traditional carol with no musical accompaniment and an original song accompanied by any Christmas melody and rhythm. The junior choirs, which will come from police youth clubs across the country, will perform a traditional carol only. Avenues Dancers, SVG Port Authority Genesis, Steel Orchestra, the Police Drama Club and a senior officers choir will make guest appearances at the caroling contest. The police band will provide music. The competition is expected to begin at 7:30. The community of Clair will turn on its lights this evening as they officially launch their Christmas and 9 Mornings Festival. The launch should be in progress at this time at the Clair Main Road. That's in the form of a concert with performances from various church groups. The exhortation will be done by Pastor Adolphus Isaacs of the Mesopotamia Gospel Hall Assembly. Other performances will come from the Bowmans, the Bassi Alexander Rose Hall Cultural and Development Organization, and the Clair String Band. Lennox Bowman of the National 9 Mornings Committee will also address the launch. 2013 marks 11 years since Clair has been participating in organized 9 Mornings activities. The village has won Best 9 Mornings Community on 4 occasions and Best Christmas Community on 2 occasions. They are this year looking to do the double. 9 Mornings activities in the village will get going on Monday, December 16th from 4 a.m. And tomorrow, it will be the turn of Richland Park as the Area 9 Mornings Committee launches its activities. The launch will commence from 6:30 p.m. at Davis Square under the theme 100 Christmas Gifts in Richland Park. The ceremony will hear addresses from the area representative, Mikhail, a representative from the Ministry of Culture, that should be, and the local 9 Mornings Committee. Special features are the Bowmans, Sippy, National String Band, exhortation from the Joy Praise Tabernacle, Richland Park.